You've been lied to about how rich people think. It's not about having a trust fund, winning the lottery, or getting lucky with crypto. It's about something far more powerful and far more boring. The difference between the wealthy and the middle class isn't how much they earn, it's how they spend. A neurosurgeon making $700 in a year can be broke. A janitor making $40,000 a year can retire a millionaire. I've seen both. And the secret comes down to 7 specific spending habits that the middle class treats as normal and the wealthy treat as poison. If you stay until the end of this video, you'll learn those 7 habits, why they keep you stuck, and exactly how to replace them with the habits that build wealth. This is not about deprivation. This is about rewiring your brain to see money differently, the way the naturally wealthy see it. My name is your name, and today we're going inside the mind of the rich. Let me start with a story that will challenge everything you think you know. A few years ago, I met 2 different families. Family A, combined income of $250,000. Both parents are professionals, a lawyer and a marketing director. They live in a nice suburb, drive 2 new SUVs, take fancy vacations, and send their kids to private school. On paper, they're rich. In reality, they're drowning. They have $30,000 in credit card debt, no emergency, and less than $50,000 saved for retirement at age 45. They're 1 job loss away from disaster. Family B, combined income of $80,000. He's a teacher, she's a dental hygienist. They live in a modest house, drive a 10-year-old Honda and a 7-year-old Toyota, take camping trips instead of cruises, and their kids go to public school. They have no debt besides their mortgage, a fully funded emergency fund, and over $400,000 in retirement accounts at age 45. They're on track to retire at 60. Which family is richer? Family B, they have a higher net worth, lower stress, and more options. The difference isn't income, it's habits. And those habits are available to anyone. The wealthy are not a different species. They just follow a different set of rules with their money. Let me break down the 7 spending habits that separate the middle class from the wealthy and show you how to adopt each one. Number 1, the wealthy buy assets. The middle class buy liabilities that they think are assets. This is Robert Kiyosaki's famous distinction, and it's brutally true. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. A rental property that cash flows is an asset. A car that depreciates and requires gas, insurance, and maintenance is a liability. A mortgage on your primary residence is a liability, even if you call it building equity. The middle class confuses the two. They buy a $50,000 car and call it an investment in reliability. They buy a $600,000 house they can barely afford and call it forced savings. They buy the latest iPhone, designer handbags, and luxury watches, all liabilities. The wealthy delay gratification. They buy assets first. Then, after those assets generate enough cash flow, they use that cash flow to buy liabilities. The middle class uses their paycheck to buy liabilities, then wonders why they never get ahead. Here's a real example. A wealthy person with $100,000 might buy a rental property that generates $500 a month in net cash flow. After a few years, they use that $500 a month to lease a luxury car. The car costs them nothing out of their paycheck. It's paid for by the asset. A middle-class person with $100,000 might use it as a down payment on a fancy car and a bigger house. The car and house cost them $1,500 a month from their paycheck. They feel rich, but they're actually getting poorer. The wealthy person feels poor for a few years while they build assets, then they enjoy the rewards forever. That's the mindset shift. You can start today. Before you buy any non-essential item, Ask yourself, is this an asset or a liability? If it's a liability, ask, do I have an asset that's paying for this? If not, save the money and buy an asset first. Habit number 2, the wealthy automate their savings. The middle class save what's left. The typical middle class budget looks like this. Income comes in, pay bills, spend on wants. At the end of the month, if anything is left, move it to savings. Usually, nothing is left. The wealthy do the opposite. They pay themselves first. The moment their paycheck hits, they automatically transfer a fixed percentage, often 20% to 30%, into savings and investments. They never see that money. They learn to live on the rest. This is called reverse budgeting. It works because it removes the need for dowfer. You don't decide to save each month, it just happens. Let me give you a real example. A wealthy person earning $10,000 a month might have $2,500 automatically transferred to a brokerage account, $1,000 to a high-yield savings account, and $500 to a 529 plan for kids. They live on the remaining $6,000. A middle-class person earning the same $10,000 might spend $9,500 and save $500 if they're lucky. Over 20 years, the wealthy person's automated savings grow to over $2 million at 7% return. The middle-class person has maybe $200,000. Same income, different habit. You can implement this today. Go into your bank account or payroll portal. Set up an automatic transfer to your investment account on every payday. Start with 10% if you can't do 20%. Increase by 1% every time you get a raise. You won't miss money you never see. Habit number 3, the wealthy see money as a tool. The middle class see money as a reward. The middle class works hard, gets a bonus or a raise, and immediately spends it on a reward, a new car, a vacation, a boat. They think, I deserve this. The wealthy also reward themselves, but they do it differently. They see money as a tool to create more money. A bonus isn't a ticket to spend, it's a ticket to invest. They might put that bonus into a rental property, a business, or the stock market. Then, when that investment generates income, they use the income to reward themselves. This is the same as habit 1, but it's a mindset. The middle class treats money as a reward for past work. The wealthy treat money as a seed for future work. They are never done investing. They always have a plan for the next dollar. I made this mistake myself. In my 20s, I got a $5,000 bonus. I bought a new guitar and took a trip to Mexico. It was fun. But that $5,000 invested at 10% would have been over $35,000 in 20 years. I traded $35,000 for a few weeks of fun. Now, I still take trips, but I fund them from investment income, not from bonuses. The bonus goes straight to my brokerage account. You can do the same. Next time you get an unexpected windfall, bonus, tax refund, gift, commit to investing at least 50% of it. Better yet, invest 100% for the first few years. Your future self will thank you. Habit number 4, the wealthy buy quality that lasts. The middle class buy cheap and replace often. There's an old saying, I'm too poor to buy cheap. It sounds like a paradox, but it's true. The middle class buys a $50 pair of shoes that falls apart in 6 months. They buy 3 pairs in 2 years, $150. The wealthy buys a $200 pair of high-quality shoes that last 5 years. They spend more upfront but less over time. The same applies to furniture, appliances, tools, even cars. The wealthy buy used luxury cars that have already depreciated. They let someone else take the hit. The middle class buys new economy cars that lose 30% of their value the second they drive off the lot. The wealthy buy a $1,000 washing machine that lasts 15 years. The middle class buys a $400 washing machine that needs repairs in 3 years and replacement in 7. This is the Sam Vimes theory of economic injustice. From Terry Pratchett, It costs more to be poor. But you can break the cycle by saving up for quality. Buy once, cry once. Do research. Read reviews. Buy durable goods from reputable brands and take care of them. The wealthy don't just buy quality, they maintain it. Let me give you a specific example: cookware. A $30 non-stick pan from a big box store will scratch and warp in a year. A $100 cast iron pan or stainless steel pan will last a lifetime. Over 20 years, the cheap pan costs $600 if you replace it every year. The quality pan costs $100. That's $500 saved. Multiply that across every category: tools, clothing, electronics, and you save thousands. The wealthy know this. They are not cheap, they are strategic. They pay for value, not for price tags. Habit number 5, the wealthy negotiate everything. The middle class pay the asking price. Asterisk, the middle class is embarrassed to negotiate. They think it's rude or aggressive. They pay full price for cars, furniture, medical bills, cable, internet, and even retail. The wealthy negotiate as a standard practice. They know that the asking price is rarely the final price. They do their research. They know the market value. They walk away if the deal isn't right. And they save 10% to 30% on every major purchase. That adds up to tens of thousands over a lifetime. Let me give you a script for negotiating. For a car, I've done my research. The fair market value for this car is $25,000. I'm prepared to pay $24,000 today. Out the door, can you do that? If they say no, walk away. They will call you back. For cable or internet, call the retention department. I've been a customer for 3 years. I see that new customers are getting a $50 rate, but I'm paying $80. Can you match that? They will often say yes. For medical bills, ask for an itemized bill, then ask for a discount for paying in cash. Hospitals will often reduce bills by 20 to 40% if you negotiate. For furniture, this sofa is $2,200. I saw a similar one at another store for $1,000. Can you match that? Often they will. The wealthy have no fear of negotiation because the worst they can say is no. And a no costs you nothing. Practice on small items, then work up to big ones. You'll get better. Habit number 6. The wealthy track their net worth, not their bank balance. Asterisk, the middle class focuses on their checking account balance. They feel rich when it's high, poor when it's low. But a high checking account balance often means cash is losing value to inflation. The wealthy focus on net worth, assets minus liabilities. They know that a $50,000 bank account is nice, but a $500,000 investment portfolio plus a $300,000 house with a $200,000 mortgage equals a $600,000 net worth. That's real wealth. They track their net worth monthly or quarterly. They use apps like Personal Capital or a simple spreadsheet. They watch the number grow over time. That growth is their scorecard, and it's addictive. The middle class often has no idea what their net worth is. They might guess. They might be shocked to find it's negative because of student loans, car loans, and credit cards. The first step to becoming wealthy is knowing your number. Calculate your net worth today. List all assets, cash, investments, retirement accounts, home equity, conservatively, cars, depreciated value. List all liabilities, mortgage, student loans, car loans, credit card balances. Subtract. That's your net worth. Then set a goal to increase it by a certain percentage each year. The wealthy don't compare themselves to others. They compare themselves to their past selves. They celebrate small wins. You can start today. Spend 30 minutes calculating your net worth. Then track it every month. You'll be amazed at how your behavior changes when you see the number move. Asterisk, habit number 7. The wealthy spend time on financial education. The middle class spend time on entertainment. The average American watches over 3 hours of television per day. That's 45 days per year. The wealthy watch less than 1 hour per day. Instead, they read. They read books on investing, taxes, business, and psychology. They listen to podcasts. They attend seminars. They hire coaches and mentors. They understand that knowledge compounds just like money. A single book can change your financial trajectory by tens of thousands of dollars. The Richest Man in Babylon, The Millionaire Next Door, Your Money or Your Life. These books contain lessons that most people never learn. The wealthy learn them. Let me give you a simple goal. Read 20 pages of a personal finance book per day. That's 30 minutes. That's 7,300 pages per year, roughly 30 books. In 1 year, you will know more about money than 95% of the population. In 5 years, you'll be an expert. That knowledge will save you from bad investments, bad advisors, and bad habits. It will help you find strategies like the ones in this series, the Roth ladder, the mega backdoor, tax deductions, credit card churning. All of those strategies require knowledge. The wealthy invest in that knowledge. The middle class says, I don't have time, but they have 3 hours for Netflix. That's a choice. Make a different choice. I want to be real with you. Adopting these 7 habits is not easy. They go against the grain of consumer culture. Your friends might call you cheap. Your family might not understand. But the wealthy don't care about being popular. They care about being free. And freedom comes from financial independence, not from the approval of others. Let me give you a specific example of how these habits work together in a real person's life. Meet James. He's 30 years old, earns $70,000 a year. He implements all 7 habits. He automates 20% of his paycheck into a Roth IRA and a taxable brokerage account. He tracks his net worth monthly. He negotiates his internet bill and his car insurance. He buys quality used furniture from Facebook Marketplace. He reads 1 finance book per quarter. He asks, asset or liability? Before every major purchase. By age 40, his net worth is $200,000. By age 50, it's $800,000. By age 60, he's a millionaire. He retires comfortably. His friends who earn the same but spent like typical middle-class consumers? They're still working, still in debt, still stressed. Same income, different habits, different outcomes. Now, let's address the exception. Some people will say, but what about the truly wealthy, the billionaires? They don't follow these rules. They buy yachts and private jets. That's true, but you're not a billionaire. And most billionaires didn't start that way. They followed these habits during their wealth-building phase. Only after they had enough assets to generate massive cash flow did they buy the yachts, often as business expenses or tax write-offs. You can't skip the wealth-building phase. You have to earn the right to spend on luxuries. The middle class tries to live like the wealthy before they are wealthy. That's why they stay middle class. Here's your actionable plan to start implementing these 7 habits today. Habit 1. Before any non-essential purchase over $100, write down, is this an asset or a liability? If liability, write what asset will pay for it. If none, don't buy. Habit 2. Log into your bank or payroll portal. Set up an automatic transfer of 15% of your paycheck to a separate investment account. Do it now. Start with 10% if 15% is too high. Increase by 1% each year. Habit 3. The next time you get a bonus or tax refund, commit to investing 100% of it, not 50%. Do it once. See how it feels. Habit 4. Make a list of 3 things you plan to buy in the next year. Research high-quality versions. Save up to buy the quality version, not the cheap version. Use the cost per use calculation. A $200 pair of boots worn $5.40 per use. A $50 pair worn 50 times costs $1 per use. Buy quality. Habit 5. The next time you receive a bill or a quote, call and ask for a discount. Start small, a $50 cable bill. Say, can you do $40? Practice. The worst they can say is no. Celebrate every yes. Habit 6. Calculate your net worth tonight. Write it down. Then set a recurring calendar reminder for the first of every month to update it. Use a spreadsheet. Watch it grow. Habit 7. Replace 30 minutes of daily TV or social media with reading a personal finance book. Start with The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley. Read 10 pages a day. Finish it in a month. Then read another bonus habit. Surround yourself with people who share these habits. Join online communities like Our Financial Independence or Bogleheads. Unfollow influencers who promote consumerism. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. I want to leave you with a story that will stick with you. A janitor named Ronald Reed died in 2014 in Vermont. He wore old clothes, drove a used car, and lived a modest life. When he died, he left an estate of over $8 million. He had invested small amounts in blue-chip stocks over decades. He never earned more than $40,000 a year. He never had a high-paying job. He just followed the habits of the wealthy, buying assets, saving automatically, buying quality, negotiating nothing, maybe not negotiating, but definitely spending below his means, tracking net worth, and educating himself. He read the Wall Street Journal every day. He was a janitor, and he died a multi-millionaire. His secret? Not a secret at all. Just habits. You don't need to be a janitor. You don't need to be a doctor. You just need to adopt Simon's habits. They are free. They are available to everyone. And they work. Not in a month, not in a year, in decades. But the decades will pass anyway. You can either be a millionaire at the end, or you can be broke. The choice is yours. Here's your challenge for today. Choose just one of the 7 habits. Implement it within the next 24 hours. The easiest is habit 2, set up automatic savings. Do it now. Comment below. I'm starting with habit number. Tell me which one. I'll reply to the first 50 comments. If this video changed the way you think about money, hit the like button. It helps others break free from middle-class thinking. Subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, I'm going to show you how compound interest works for lazy people. The set it and forget it portfolio that builds wealth while you sleep. You won't want to miss it. The wealthy are not lucky. They are not geniuses. They just have different habits. And habits can be learned. Starting today, you can learn them. Your future self is watching. I'll see you in the next video.